Hi everyone, my name is Kirsten Kennedy. I am the Finance Specialist here at Brightside Up. This presentation will walk you through how to complete the Workforce Retention Grant application. I just want to start by saying I'm so excited that you are all getting this opportunity and that your staff is also getting this opportunity as well. So I hope you find this presentation to be helpful and we get you through the grant application. Most of you should have received an email from OCFS with a link directly into the grant portal. If you did not receive that email or you're having a hard time getting in, copy and paste this link into your browser. Once you have clicked on the link, it'll direct you to the newyork.gov login screen. You'll be asked to log in, enter in your username and your password, and sign into the portal. Once you've signed into the portal, you'll come to the Grant Opportunities page. From the Grant Opportunities page, select Workforce Retention Grant. Go over to the right and select Apply Review. This will bring you to the provider verification page. Go over to the left of this page where you can start a new application. Select New York State Provider and enter in your facility ID number. Click Search. Once you've searched for your facility, you will see it at the bottom of this page. Make sure the information that you see is accurate and correct about your facility. Select the facility and click Next at the bottom of this page. Next, you'll be asked to verify your facility. A verification code will be sent to the email address that we have on file for your facility. Make sure the email address is correct. If the email address is for an employee who no longer works there, please reach out to myself or your licensor to correct this information. Once the information has been corrected, you will receive your verification code. Enter the verification code and click Next at the bottom of this page. Once you've verified your facility, this will take you back to the Grant Opportunities page. As you will see on this page next to Workforce Retention Grant, it is changed from Apply Review to Apply. Select Apply and click Next at the bottom of the screen. We are now in the Workforce Retention Grant application. This is the instructions page. This is the first page that you will see once you start the application. There's nothing that you're going to need to do on this page. Review the page, go to the bottom right, and select Next to proceed through the application. This page is the General Application Information page. This is going to be information about your facility. Make sure that the information is accurate and correct, and scroll down the page where you will be asked to complete questions about the operator or director. This page is a continuation of the previous slide that we just reviewed. Once you scroll down the grant applications page, what you will do is answer the questions that are starred, go down to the bottom right, click Save and Next to proceed through the application. On this slide, I will probably spend the most time out of any of the slides on this presentation because I've gotten the most questions on this. I have to say I've probably recorded this about 3 times, so I'm hoping that this time I get it correct. This is the Staff Retention Bonus Certifications page. What I'm going to do on this slide is go through it with you. Once I've reviewed what it says, I'm going to go into it in detail. So we'll read through the questions. I'm going to give you a little bit of an explanation on each of the categories. The first thing you'll notice is that you see your application number at the top. Below that will give you the staff who have already received this bonus from another program. If a staff member who works at your program has received this bonus from another program, you will see their name listed there. So let's read through this. We have the name of the employee. This is going to be the name of each employee who is working in your program. The date of birth is going to be asked. Has worked on average 15 hours per week between January 1st, 2023 and June 26, 2023, or from the start of employment to June 26, 2023. For school-age programs, it is different. It will be an average of 10 hours each week. The next question is, at the time of the application, is in a child caring role in which they provide direct supervision to children or a child not related to the staff. The next question you will be asked, to your knowledge, the employee has not already received bonus payments issued by this grant from another child care program. So let's jump into this. We have the name of the employee. The first thing that you're going to want to do, go through the list. Make sure these are active employees that work at your program. If they are not, you can reach out to myself, and you can also reach out to your licensor so that we can correct this information. They're going to verify this using the employee's date of birth. So you'll enter in their date of birth, and you'll go on to the next section. So has the employee worked on average 15 hours each week between January 1st, 2023 and June 26th of 2023? The next section of this question, has the employee worked an average of 15 hours a week from the time that they've started working in your program until June 26th? So in this question, what it does is it gives you two options. So they want to give you two separate options to qualify your employee to receive these funds. Option number one, look at January 1st. So the amount of time that this employee has worked from January 1st, 23 to June 26th of 23. So that could be an employee who maybe works 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week. They work sporadically. Maybe some weeks they work 20 hours a week. They work 40 hours a week. It gives you the option of looking at it over a 6-month average. So it's almost a 6-month rolling average. Go through your attendance, write down the amount of hours they've worked each week. And then if that amount adds up to be 15 hours per week on average, that employee is going to qualify for this grant. The next option you have to qualify your employee for this grant is if they are an employee that, let's just say for an example, started in May. So they've been there kind of a short time. They're showing up on your list here, and they've been cleared, background check, fingerprinted, whatever the case may be, but they work 20 hours every single week. That employee is eligible to receive these funds. So this question is really just a two-part question, but the great part is it gives you two ways of qualifying this employee. The next question that you're going to be asked, at this time of the application, is the employee in a child caring role? Do they provide direct supervision to a child who is not related to the staff member? I've had a couple questions come up about this, especially for directors. I will get more clarification as we go through, and if you're not comfortable completing this question without the clarification, I completely understand. My personal opinion on this is that if you are a director of a program, and I think we have touched on this before, you are directly working with these kids. I know sometimes you may have to go into a room. We have to factor in the ratio aspect of things as well. So you are working directly with the children at some point. Again, I will get clarification on that just to make sure, because it is an important thing that we, fill this information out correctly. The next question, to your knowledge, has the employee already received bonus payments issued by the grant from another child care program? What you will want to do is, this is really asking, do you not know that they have received funds from, another program? So basically, each of these questions, you have to answer yes in order for your employee to be eligible to receive the grant funds. So if every category says yes, each employee who is listed will receive the grant funds. If one of these questions is marked no, that will completely disqualify that employee. So that's something that I think is going to be very helpful as you're going through this application. But I have received a lot of questions on to your knowledge, and I totally understand it is a little tricky, but you will want to select yes. So yes, to my knowledge, the employee has not received the bonus payments from another program. Once you've gone through this, you can go to the bottom of the screen and hit Save and Next to proceed through the application. So to continue on the example that I had just given you on the previous slide, let's just say that I had gone back into my application and I changed one of the answers from no to yes. Now I'm seeing that both of my employees are receiving $3,000 each because the total retention bonus is $6,000. I will now receive $460 for my payroll tax assistance, and I will have the same, staff recruitment, which would be the $2,000. Staff recruitment was based on the modality of your program, so that's not going to change. But you do see the change here when I had gone back into the application and recertified that employee from not being eligible to eligible. So again, I just want to reiterate, before you complete the application, add up the numbers, make sure that everything is correct so that, we get it right the first time, because it's just so much easier if we catch these mistakes before we submit the application. So as long as this information is accurate, you'll go down to the bottom right and click Save and Next to proceed through the application. I wasn't sure if I should show this screen twice, but I think I should, because what I'm going to show you here is kind of like an example of how you make sure that the application is correct based on, the eligible employees. So if you have a couple employees that work in your program, and let's just say you didn't select yes for each of the questions that were asked when you were qualifying these employees, what you're going to see after you've answered those questions is your estimated grant award amount. So the first total that you're going to see is the total estimated workforce retention grant amount. That is everything together. So it's just literally the staff bonus, payroll tax assistance, and staff recruitment all added together to give you the total estimated awarded amount. The next thing that you're going to want to look at is staff retention bonuses. Now, let's say I have 2 employees, but I'm only seeing $3,000. That's incorrect. So if I know that other employee was eligible, I want to make sure that that information is correct. So I want to see 6,000 there. So that's going to give you a good indication that the information is not correct and that you will have to go back and, I guess, recertify that employee. So on the next slide, I'm going to show you the difference in the numbers when you have more than one employee who is qualified to receive this grant. The next page you'll see is options for the use of funds. So you'll see your application number at the top. If you want to go through and read this, it does provide you with allowable expenses for this grant. So you can review this page. Once you've reviewed it, go down to the bottom and hit Save and Next to proceed through the application. I'm going to give you 2 separate scenarios with this same slide. The first scenario that we are going to look at is if the provider has already set up an SFS vendor account. So on the payment information screen, I'm a provider and I've already set up my SFS vendor account. What I'm going to see on this page is that my SFS vendor ID number is already pre-generated. This is information, again, that cannot be changed. I've looked at my I've looked at my SFS vendor account number, verified that it is the correct number because mistakes can be made. Please make sure that this is the correct SFS vendor ID number for you. As long as this information is accurate, click Save and Next to proceed through the application. This screen will let you review your application. Please go through the information and make sure that all the information you see is correct and accurate. The nice part about this is that you can edit the information on the application if you see that it is not correct. You'll go up to the top right, you see where it says Exit, and below that is the word Edit. So if you click on Edit, it's going to allow you to go to previous pages and change information that maybe is not correct or that you filled out incorrectly. So once you've reviewed this application and the information is accurate, scroll down to the bottom, hit Save and Next to proceed through the application. The next page will be the provider attestation page. There are more questions on this page than there have been for previous grants, and the reason being is because we are attesting to information about ourselves and our employees. So please review these questions. Once you've selected each, Enter in your full legal name at the bottom and click on Submit. This will submit your application to OCFS. So we're going to backtrack on this slide. So what we did before was we looked at the application as the provider already having set up an SFS vendor account. If you have not set up an SFS vendor account, you will be asked to set one up. So all the grants will be made to the awardees through the statewide financial system with a unique 10-digit SFS vendor numeric ID number. Awardees will enroll with the SFS vendor by completing a substitute W-9. When the ID is created, you will receive an email, and this is what the email will look like, on how to use your account and set up payment information. So on the next slide, what I'm going to do is go over the information that you'll be completing on the substitute W-9 form. If you do not have an SFS vendor account, you will need to fill out the substitute W-9 form. So I'm just going to go over a couple different scenarios so that you feel confident when you're completing this form that the information you put here is accurate and correct about your program. Most of our family and group providers operate as individual sole proprietors. So what that means is that you're a single member and you operate your business really by yourself on a day-to-day basis. There's no special requirements for your banking, and you can also file your personal income taxes along with your program's income taxes. So if you're operating as an individual sole proprietor, you'll want to enter in line 1 your first and last name. Leave line 2 blank. For line 3, select individual sole proprietor. And then when you get to part 2, what you'll want to enter in is your social security number only. Please, if you are operating as an individual member sole proprietor, please do not put your EIN number because that information is not going to match up with what the IRS has on file for you. So again, if you're operating as an individual sole proprietor, line 1 is your first and last name, or however it appears on your taxes, really. Line 2 can be left blank. For line 3, select individual sole proprietor. And for part 2, enter in your social security number. Some of our providers operate as limited liability companies. If you are an LLC, this is how you're going to complete the substitute W-9. You will put your first and last name on line 1. You can put the name of your business on line 2. There are 2 types of limited liability companies. So you can, or actually 2 ways of filing taxes is a better way to put it. If you file your taxes as a single member LLC, you don't have to put your EIN number because you can file your personal taxes and your business taxes together. So if you're a single member LLC, what you'll do is just select limited liability company. And when you get to part 2, put your social security number, not your EIN number. So again, if you're operating as a single member limited liability company, on line 1 is your first and last name. On line 2, you will include your business name. For line 3, select limited liability company. And on part 2, enter in your social security number. If you are operating as an S corporation and you're a limited liability company, you can do the same exact thing, where you put your first and last name on line 1, leave line 2 blank, select limited liability company on line 3, and for tax identification number, enter in your social security number. An S corporation can do the same thing. They can file their taxes for their business along with their personal taxes. So in that situation, that is how you would complete the substitute W-9 form. Now, if you're a limited liability company and you are filing your taxes as a C corporation, that is different. In this situation, you will not put your first and last name on line 1. You will enter in the name of your business on line 2. For line 3, you will select limited liability company. But for your tax identification number, when you get to part 2, in the situation, you are a limited liability company that is filing their taxes as a C corporation. Enter in your EIN number. So I'm just going to go through that again. Filing as a C corporation, leave line 1 blank, put your business name in line 2. On line 3, select limited liability company. And on part 2, for taxpayer identification number, complete this with your EIN number only. If you are a partnership, you will also be completing this form a little bit differently. So a partnership, you will leave line 1 blank. On line 2, you will put the name of your business. For line 3, you will select partnership. And on part 2, for tax identification number, you will want to enter in your EIN number. I'll go over that one more time. So for a partnership, you will want to put only your business name. So on line 1, you'll leave it blank. Line 2, you will put the name of your business. For line 3, select partnership. And on part 2, for tax identification number, you're going to enter in the EIN number. Now, if you're operating as a corporation, you will leave line 1 blank. For line 2, you will enter in your business name. On line 3, select corporation. And on part 2, for taxpayer identification number, you will want to enter in only your EIN number. I'll go over that one more time. So if you're operating as a corporation, leave line 1 blank. Line 2, you'll put your business name. For line 3, select corporation. And on part 2, for tax identification, you will enter in your EIN number. I hope this has been helpful for everyone, especially going through the substitute W-9 form. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on this. Just with past experiences from the grant, it's very important that we get this information, which is put on the substitute W-9 form, correct? I've talked to providers today, the application's open, and everybody seems to have a pretty good handle on it, which is great. But if you do have a question, please let me know so that we can get this right the first time, because something like this, it's very important that we get it correct. When the IRS receives these, it's literally, they're sitting at a computer, they will type in whatever taxpayer identification number you've provided them with. If it is not matching up with your business or your name, it gets kicked right back. And there's only so many times within a certain time period that we can submit a W-9 form to the IRS. So we want to make sure that the information we're putting down is correct. This way, everything matches up and we can just go through the application, no problem. But if you have questions, please reach out to me about this.